The night began with excitement, at least for me. My wife Claire had insisted that we attend a friend's engagement party together. I believed it would be a chance to enjoy ourselves, to laugh and dance the way we once had. I even wore the suit she loved, the one she said made me look like the man she first fell in love with. But the moment we arrived, I sensed something was wrong. Her attention wasn't on me. Instead, her eyes kept wandering across the room. Each time I followed her gaze, I saw her looking at the same man. I told myself I was overthinking it. After all, Claire was my wife, my partner of 8 years, the woman I trusted more than anyone. I went to get us drinks and tried to draw her into conversation, but she seemed distant, responding with distracted nods. Then, in a moment that made the air feel frozen, I watched her slip away from the group and move toward him. My heart raced as I followed at a distance, and that's when I saw it. She leaned in. He lifted his hand to her cheek, and their lips met. It wasn't a brief mistake. It was intentional, gentle, and devastating. My heart broke in silence as I watched my wife betray me openly, unconcerned with who might see. I wanted to rush forward, to pull them apart, to shout at her for destroying everything we had built. Instead, an unexpected calm settled over me. My anger turned into clarity. She had already made her choice, and I didn't need to fight for someone who could give herself to another man so easily. I walked back to our table, picked up a napkin, and took out the pen I always carried in my jacket. My hands shook, not with rage, but with the weight of what I was about to do. I wrote, "You showed me tonight that I'm not the man you want. Consider this kiss the last time you'll ever see me as your husband." The words were sharp, honest, and final. I folded the note, slipped it beneath her clutch, and stood up. As I headed for the exit, I looked back once more. Claire was still with him, laughing, brushing her hair back as if nothing mattered. She hadn't noticed me leave or realized what I had done. For the first time, I didn't feel weak or embarrassed. I felt free. She had torn down our marriage with a single kiss, and I had no desire to rebuild it. By the time she returned to the table, I was already gone. Later, she must have found the note because my phone began lighting up with calls and messages, one after another. I didn't answer. Each ring only reminded me of that kiss, how public and careless it had been. She didn't deserve my voice, my tears, or my explanations. The note was enough, and it was all she would receive. When I got home, I packed my bags quietly. I left the wedding ring she had once placed on my finger beside her framed photo on the dresser. It had once meant forever, but now it was only a symbol of betrayal. I closed the door behind me and walked away without looking back. The next morning, Claire returned to an empty house. I imagined she rushed through the rooms, calling my name, hoping to find me waiting with anger or questions. Instead, she found only the echo of her own choices. My note at the party had shattered her world, not with shouting or drama, but with finality. She realized too late that she hadn't just kissed another man, she had kissed her marriage goodbye. Days turned into weeks, and her messages shifted from frantic apologies to broken pleas for another chance. She wrote long letters about mistakes, confusion, and love. But love doesn't look like betrayal. Love doesn't kiss another man in plain sight and expect forgiveness. Every time I replayed that note in my mind, I knew I had made the right decision. Months have passed now, and I've rebuilt my life without her. People sometimes ask if I regret not confronting her, not causing a scene at the party. My answer is always the same: no. Sometimes the strongest response is silence, the kind that leaves the guilty alone with their shame. Claire will never forget that note, just as I will never forget the sight of her kissing someone else. She lost me with one kiss, and I walked away for good.